So we talked about a continuous graph versus a discrete graph. Who could tell me if they remember, what does a continuous graph look like? Andrew.
It
Goes on and on forever? Kind of. That's not the specific thing that we said. Gurpreet, what did we say it was?
like the dots are connected.
That's right. Everything's connected with a line, right? It could go on forever, absolutely. Some of them don't, though. A continuous means we could draw a line through it. What does a discrete graph look like then, Alex?
A discrete graph is a graph without any connected dots.
Exactly. Like we see right here, a graph without any connected dots. So this graph represents the number of problems correct on a test and the number of points that you got, right? So if you got 10 problems correct, we can look up and see this data point tells me I got a 100 on the test, right? And we got 9 there in the middle. The reason why we can't connect these dots like we said is because I can't get 9.5 questions right, okay? Which means I can't score a 95. I either got a 90 and a 9 out of 10, or I got 100 and a 10 out of 10, all right? So with discrete graphs, there is no middle ground, okay? So let's take a look at the second discrete graph that we're going to draw. And you guys are going to make this one yourselves. A contestant on a game show is given $100 and asked 5 questions. Every time they get an answer wrong, that contestant loses $20. All right? Take a couple moments with your partner. See if you can sketch the graph of this situation. You don't even really need numbers. It might help to put some numbers. What does my y-axis represent? Amount of money. So what's the max amount of money you could have in this situation? 100. Good. I'll put that up at the top. 100.
Oh, I thought it was 5.
Okay, what does the x-axis represent?
Wrong answer.
Number of wrong answers to the question, right? Well, how many questions are they being asked? 5 of them. So over here on the end, I'm going to do my 5. I can fill in 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Maybe I can do a 50, a 25. Oh no, they lose 20 for every wrong answer. So how many units do we want to go by on the y-axis? By 20s, right? 20, 40, 60, 80. Perfect. You got your axis set up. Sketch a graph real quick with your partner. Figure out if it's discrete or continuous. And then we'll talk about domain and range together in just a second. Just take 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. Do that real quick.
No, it can't be negative. I could be baby too. No, like he literally is not even flexing the you can see my arms. Yeah, but he's not even trying. Like, this is just gonna get good. I don't know why he gave me the show last time.
So he's given
I'm not even
100,
trying. Look how many pages.
right?
I put the zeros.
And every one he gets wrong, he
When
loses
the zero, I could put
Your confusion is one way. Something's wrong with this graph. See if you can figure out what it is.
Look, he's not even trying.
Don't forget, he can also get 0 incorrect answers, right? That's going to be right there. Or they. Whoever. You going to give it a shot? Maybe? Interesting. Oh, yes, sir.
So are these?
Continuous means we connected with a line. So this, are you able to erase that? because this is not continuous. We shouldn't connect them. That's why it's just all a bunch of points. Let me get you an eraser. Gotta use your brain a little bit on this. I see a lot of the same looking graph, and it's all a little bit off. There we go. Yep. Good.
I don't care my
Just this way. Just don't connect. Good. Perfect. Close. Should look a little different. That's a lot of dots.
Most coding makes us do is like
Or maybe something else. Good dots, maybe wrong shape. Definitely don't want to connect the dots. You can't get half of the question right. What is all this?
Is that what you mean by sketching a box?
No, sketching a graph is the data. So it's okay. Let me get you an eraser.
Is this what you mean? Is this what
Yep.
What is that, Buddha?
Some of you guys are figuring it out, which is great. It's a lot of erasing. Let's take a look, shall we? So a lot of us started out with basically the same thing, where they went like this, da 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 da. Right? Anybody start out by doing their graph like that? Yeah? Anybody change their graph after they did it like that? Good. Here's why we're not going to have a graph that looks like that. Okay? What does X represent again? The number of incorrect questions. And what does Y represent? The amount of money. How much money do they have at the very start? $100. So my first data point, my Y-intercept, is at 100. Right? Okay? This is why someone brought up a really good thing. They said, shouldn't it say the number of right answers? It could say that, and our graph would look very different. But because it says incorrect, we got to think about it kind of backwards. So if I get no questions wrong, I keep my $100, right? What if I get one wrong? How much money do they take from me?
$20.
They take $20. So how much would I have? 80. So we got the point 1, comma 80. Am I going to connect these two dots together?
No.
Who could tell me why not? Why am I not, Tristan? You can't get half a question wrong. Exactly. That's what a discrete graph represents. I can only get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 wrong, or 0. I can't get 1.5 questions wrong, right? So I cannot connect these dots. If I get 2 questions wrong, how much money am I left with? 60. Okay. If I get 3 questions wrong, I've got 40 left. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. If I get 4 questions wrong, how much money do I have left? 20. And if I got all 5 of them wrong, what am I left with? 0. There's my x-intercept. Now, this should be a perfectly straight line. Mine looks a little more curved because my axes aren't perfect, but you should see a decreasing graph. Okay? Is this discrete or continuous? Discrete. Again, we can't get half a question wrong. We can't lose $10, right? We're losing in increments of 20. We're answering in increments of 1. Now, the domain and range, okay? This is what we didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday. Let's start with the domain. The domain is just the set of inputs. What is an input? The domain? X values, right? So what are all the possible x values that I have here?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. So I have 6 numbers in my domain. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to write a capital D with a colon, and we're going to do a little squiggly parenthesis. I don't know what that's actually called. I just call it a little squiggly thing. I'm going to do this darker a little bit. Squiggly bracket, yeah. Okay. And we said that our possible inputs were 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end it off with another squiggly bracket. Is 1.5 included in my domain?
No.
No. Is 3.75 included in my domain? No.
Yeah.
It is just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? All right. Now my range, anyone want to take a guess at what my range is?
The y-axis.
The set of y values, my outputs, right? Squiggly bracket, that's ugly. I'm really bad at doing these, by the way, so. Okay. What are the possible y values I can have here?
0 to 100.
Is it 0 to 100?
No, it would be 0, 20.
0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. All right? So we're going to put them in order. 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. Squiggle bracket. That's my range. All right? Any questions about domain and range? We'll get more into specifics later, but the basic idea of how to find it, that's it right there, okay? So now that we talked about that, see if you could work this one out. You've got the numbers already. It's a nice full graph, so it's going to look nice and perfect. See if you could work with your partner. A local salesman is going door to door trying to sell vacuums. For every vacuum he sells, he makes $20. He can sell a maximum of 10 vacuums a day.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. See if you can make that graph. See if you can figure out if it's discrete. Do you have a question? You're doing this together. Do you have a question?
There's no question. What is it asking?
I know. It's missing the question. Is it discrete or continuous? What's the domain? What's the range?
Okay.
Okay, just like the previous one. It's just repeating it with a different scenario. That's right. Exactly.
Yes, it's great.
I already see a bump.
Saquon Barkley odds.
Some people think when they cut, they're gonna look like this.
I do too.
Some people think they cut.
If you see my thigh, oh, be shot. Like, you see how I'm sitting right now? You see my thigh?
I don't train like that.
Is that I just condition. I just condition.
I could let that do
I could do like
I was a bench. Man, I bench like 190 now.
Well, that's more than the goal.
You guys got it all done? So we talk about bench pressing and Saquon Barkley over here. I don't know what's going on. That's, again, way too many dots. Read the question. Maybe it's not. Actually, never mind. I think you're good. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're good. I'm tripping. We're missing 1 point on it.
What about calves? Because I don't train legs.
I got a calf raise. I got a calf raise.
I mean, it's a little small.
Flex it.
Yeah. Is he guaranteed to sell at least one vacuum a day?
Why is it like that? Why is it like that?
Right? He can sell zero.
Then you. I can notice.
You can see the muscle.
Right. You only put 10 in the car.
I gotta do
Good. That's great.
Mine doesn't make like a muscle. It's just when it gets bigger.
Mine's up first. I just started saying legs. I just
We have lines.
my legs are not a big.
I don't want to train legs. I already got
When you train legs,
I don't want to do it.
exactly.
You are missing one point. What you're missing?
How?
Is it taking them again?
You're missing six.
Why would they have
Yeah, you see, guaranteed to sell.
I don't know.
You might go out all day.
$6?
It's basically kind of like.
Oh, you don't have. You said I don't want to show my camera.
Can't be that bad.
I'm gonna take my hoodie off. Yo, what?
He said.
Good, you're missing 1 point on that. You know where it's at? And erase that. Can he sell 11 vacuums? No. Domain range. Alright, looks like we're all on the same page, so let's take a look. Oh, I didn't even look at yours. Yeah, perfect. I saw it as I was walking around. Alright, so you're going door to door selling vacuums. Hopefully you never find yourself in this scenario. For every vacuum you sell, you make $20. You could sell a maximum of 10 vacuums a day. What's the minimum number of vacuums you could sell? 0. That's right. How much money do you make if you sell 0 vacuums? $0. That's right. Now we can't forget about all the notch numbers, right? Like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 20, 60, 100, 140, and 180, right? Those numbers are all still there. Just because they're not written doesn't mean they're not there. All right? So if I sell 1 vacuum, how much profit did I make? $20. What about 2 vacuums? 3 vacuums. Okay, and we're going to follow this pattern, right?
Man, so if you sell 10 vacuums a day, you make $200.
What if you could?
All right? Give me a thumbs up if that looks good to you, that graph.
You made 11.
Take a look at my graph. Give me a thumbs up if that looks good. Give me a thumbs down if it looks bad. Why is this? Who can tell me why this is bad? What did I mess up? Anthony, hold on. Anthony, what did I do wrong?
You added an extra one to the time, and he can only sell 10 a day.
That's right. He can sell a maximum of 10 vacuums a day. This point up here, which I saw a lot of, and that's understandable, that point lines up at 11 vacuums. I can't sell 11 vacuums. I can't include that point. Right? This is why it's important to know the domain and the range. Because the range, in this case, the domain, right? Does the domain include 11? No. So my domain is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? No, not 11. Right? It's all the different possible vacuums you could sell. You could sell 1, you could sell 7, you could sell 0, but you can't sell 11, right? Who can tell me what's my range here?
0, 20, 0,
Okay.
20, 40, 60, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200.
Hey, look at that. We can count.
I can't count and
Isn't that annoying writing all that out? Oh well.
You could just put 0 to 100.
Nope. Because 0 to 100 includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can only make it in increments of 20.
Could you put 0 to 20 to 100?
0 to 20, again, includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're saying like this, 0 to 20,
No, I was saying like 0, comma 20, comma 200.
No. You're gonna write it out like this, okay? Tyler.
Would it? It could be possible, but didn't he sell like 2.5 vacuums because he just sold the parts? What?
Is it say anything about that in the question? So hold on. Listen up, please. Stop talking. So you bring a good point, right? Because I know a lot of us are very creative. We can't just invent information for a problem, right? You're like, oh, what if he's selling parts of the vacuums? It doesn't say anything about that. What if he's also selling, I don't know, candy, right? I don't know. He could be selling anything. We can make up whatever we want, but it's not in the problem, so we can't, okay? You could think about it, but it doesn't have anything to do with our work, all right? And it's not going to be 0 to 20 because you can't make $5 selling these vacuums, all right? Any questions about that? How are we feeling about discrete graphs, okay? Now, see how nice in a row all these dots are? Are we going to connect them?
No.
No, I know it's tempting to. We're not going to because like we said, you can't sell half of a vacuum. You can't make $5 or $10, right? All right, do me a favor. Go and sign on your